Hi, Theresa. Welcome back to my channel of me talking to me about me. I sound really self-centered. I promise I'm not so self-centered in my daily experience with people. That's not their experience with me. Anyways, I made a very short video, which I haven't posted yet, but I made it, and I already talked a little bit about crawling, and I want to talk more about it because I have more to say. And crawling is a really good physical therapy because we have hypermobility and scoliosis, and the scoliosis puts pressure on the lungs and on our rib cage, so it makes it difficult to get a full breath sometimes, or can be feel like it's all the time sometimes, and it can cause a ton of pain in my shoulders, but especially on the left side. I get a lot of pain from a certain few knots under my shoulder blade, because I'm so used to pulling my shoulders forward and moving from the shoulder instead of from the arm down, and so it has caused a lot of muscle tension and strain in the shoulders underneath the shoulder blades, and so tucking the shoulder blades back like that into place, it has been helpful but also painful because you have to balance the release and then the muscle use. So crawling has been really helpful for that, and like I said in the short video, I said core strength. That's true because you're using your core to keep you stable and to make sure that you're moving with your arms and with your glutes and with your leg muscles rather than with your upper back and lower back, which is something that you struggle with a lot, and that's really common for people with hypermobility, because we have that extra mobility in the joints. We tend to move from those extra places that are doing extra. Basically, there's muscles that are doing extra work to push and pull and try to keep stability where the joints are kind of loosey-goosey, liquidy. But on a more fun note, crawling is really good PT because it gives you an excuse to crawl around. And I know that sounds really silly. That sounds like some people would even say it's cringe, and I would agree, because cringe is basically just a way of hating on stuff that is, for disabled people, or stuff that is detectably disabled or detectably autistic. So yeah, I'll agree, but it's really, really fun, and I have an excuse to do it, and it's a really good exercise. So it's not even just that I have a good excuse to do it, but if you hate on me for doing it or judge me for doing it, you're just being ableist, and honestly that sucks for you, because guess what, we're all gonna be you're either at one point in your life going to become disabled, or you're just gonna pass away young, because people who are older tend to have more disabilities and more needs, just like people who are younger have more disabilities and more needs, kids and stuff like that. So anyways, if you're hating on me for doing disabled things and having a fun disabled life, that sucks. That's gonna suck for you worse later. You're welcome to join the party whenever you want. For those of you who feel like crawling around and having a perfectly good excuse to do it, welcome. it works really well, and I think that you should keep it up. I've been trying to do it more frequently. Sometimes I do it every day for a few days, and that really helps. I notice that I build up even more of an endurance with it, and my muscles get stronger. But then if I get thrown off my schedule, then sometimes I don't do it for several days, and sometimes I feel a little angry with myself over that. But no need for frustration and no need for impatience. So I did do it today. I did my crawling back and forth, and I don't do this in an empty house, I'll tell you that. I have roommates, and I have to, I choose to warn them that I crawl around for physical therapy, and so if they see me crawling around, I'm okay, and I'm having a good time, and you're welcome to join me. And I haven't been joined yet, but I still think that it'll happen soon. And it's just a really fun way to get physical therapy in. So if there's any non-me people watching this video later, then I highly recommend that you try it, even if it's just for the sake of being like really silly and having an excuse of saying, oh, it's good good core exercise. And or even if you just want to kind of surprise your friends with a weird little goofy bit. Just kind of crawl around and not tell them why. Anyways, so I've talked about that. A second thing that I was going to talk about today is a new project that I started that I'm really excited about. Okay, hear me out. I know that I just, like 2, maybe 3 days ago, I just made a video listing all of the projects that I am in the middle of, that I've already started, but I haven't yet completed, and I'm still, like I said, I'm still working on them. And honestly, that was just all my crochet projects. That wasn't even all my projects. But I started a new one. Because you know what? Sometimes working on a current project is not filling the same needs as starting a new project, okay? Especially sensory needs. Like if I am feeling like a little bit of overstimulation because I walk around and I have a lot of plastic grocery bags that we've saved, and that I really desperately want to turn into a new craft, and that's why we've been saving them, then starting a new project that uses the plastic bags fits my sensory need of doing something with the plastic bags so they're not overwhelming me. You see what I mean? This is another way of saying I don't shame myself for starting a new project, even though I have like a dozen or more in the works, because you know what? That's how life goes, and that's how art goes. And sometimes you just have to move on before you can move on. You know, you got to start something new before you can continue and really get to the part of, you know, to get back excited about your other projects, you know, and you feel the spark again. Anyways, I'm getting all excited because I'm thinking about my projects and how much they spark my excitement. So here is my new project that I started. Ta-da! This is my plastic yarn project. This is the ball so far because I got really impatient and I wanted to try crocheting with it and see what it's like, what it feels like, how I'm cutting it, like if it's working or if I need to change the way that I'm cutting it, because like if I cut all of these bags up into plarn and then I go back and I start crocheting with it all and I wish I had cut it a different way, like that's gonna suck. And and if instead I can cut some, crochet a little, see what my needs are, see what I want to do with it, and then cut more, I feel like that's just going to be like a much less painful process. And this is already like, I didn't actually keep track of the count of the bags because I don't know if okay, I do know that I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I have ADHD, so if you already forgot, Theresa, we do have ADHD. Absorb this knowledge. And now, bags. So I think it's like 7 to 9 bags, questionably. Ooh, is there a pretty sunset? I might go take a walk. I might go take a walk because it looks like there's a pretty sunset. I did that yesterday. Wow, it was worth it. It was so pretty. I mean, going for a walk is kind of always okay. Weather and conditions allowing, also chronic pain allowing, etc. Going for a walk is like almost always pays off. But the sunset yesterday was so pretty. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, and my back is already hurting, so I won't be able to do a long video, and I will have to cut this short pretty soon because sitting here without any back support is actually really difficult and painful, especially if you have scoliosis. Okay, so this, if you're wondering, is just a plain chain and then a 1 row of American style single crochet, just to get a feel of it. I really like the squishiness of it. I really like it does have like a nice kind of fluffy squishiness that I was expecting, as you kind of would imagine for like plastic that's being like crocheted with, like this, that's kind of rubbery and like almost a little stretchy just because it kind of coils up a little. Anyways, I'm really having fun with this. I'm excited because I want to crochet like bags, and I know that you can crochet like bed rolls. I'm nervous about that because I don't know, for some reason I feel like mine are going to be particularly uncomfortable, but how does that make any sense, right? Why does that make sense? Maybe it would be nice to use a bigger yarn needle and a like wider cut of plarn so that the mat is even like thicker and fluffier. But for now, like I said, I'm just really getting the feel of it, and I'm tempted to make a doll out of this. It might not be like sensory, like it might be kind of like scratchy, like if you wanted to cuddle it, but at the same time, like I really like the squishiness and the sounds, and I really like making dolls with my crochet, so I feel really tempted to make some crochet dolls out of this. And I wonder if I could do an interesting thing with like embroidering a little face. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it off here. Yeah, good job making another Amnesia log for the books. Did I say that in another video? I think I did. Anyway, take care of yourself. Go easy, go slow. It's okay when you forget. And oh my gosh, I didn't even make a list today. Anyway, I hope you have fun remembering this with me later. Bye.